It's Wednesday night, folks, and you know what that means. I like your Top Gun hoodie there, J-Mac.
I've had it for a while, and I think I got it for last Christmas.
I remember when you got it.
Aye, it was from truffleshuffle.com.
Yes, where you
remember
can
that?
use Jib Jab 15, I think. You probably still can.
We should maybe order something and try it.
No. Or get someone at home to. Ladies and gents, welcome to our review of Malignant, a movie by James Wan. What's your favourite James Wan movie, J-Mac?
I prefer all the movies by James too.
You didn't.
Oh man, I did.
You went.
What's my favourite James Wan movie? To date, it's 100% Saw.
Like Saw,
Like-
or like Saw 1 or Saw?
Saw, like Saw 1. Saw 1 is
Saw 1 what?
How long are we going to do this?
I know we're off to the races.
We'll have Cole on here chinning us for repeating ourselves too much. All right, guys, fucking rein it in.
This is kind of like Malignant. Kind of came out of nowhere. I had not heard a lot about it, and then it's like boom, it was there. Usually you hear about James Wan's making something new, something that's not been done before, which we'll get into that very soon. But we do want to kind of talk a bit about what's going on in cinema, what's going on in the movie world. So stick with us over the next hour, and we shall do that. But before we get into that, let's have a look at what's on in the cinema. Obviously, we're promoting Bathgate Cinema here, but go to any cinema if you're not in Bathgate or not in Scotland or in the UK in general. Go to any cinema and see these movies. Come here and chat to us about them. But while you are local to us, check out Bathgate Cinema. You can order tickets at www.bathgatecinema.co.uk. You can see the link up here on our homepage. If you're listening to us at home via Spotify or any other listening platform of podcasts, we thank you, and make sure to come see us live on YouTube, on Facebook when we are live. So at bathgatecinema.co.uk you can see the runtime for Respect, which is 145 minutes.
You just read the entire thing.
That you needed to know that.
Running time 145 minutes. Reasonable comedy, sensitive advice, domestic abuse, racism, sexual abuse, references, and frequent strong language. There's for everyone. Following the rise of Aretha Franklin's career from a child singing. Yes, this is Respect, which is also a gentle reminder to the youngins that there is a T at the end of that word. But Respect is the life story of the one, the only Aretha Franklin.
And how does that song go, J-Mac?
Yeah, no.
It's like that. It's going,
GPT.
What?
Diplomatic community.
How dare you pull some diplomatic immunity on me there? No, you didn't. Respect. That's it's pretty much it's her most known song.
For a little respect, just a little bit. That one.
Respect when you come home. What about when you go out? Exactly. So that's why you need to go to Bathgate Cinema, get your tickets, and watch Respect, and that way you'll be able to see what happens when she goes out. You can get tickets for that on Wednesday, the 15th of September, right up to Thursday, the 30th of September. Even though that's the last ticket price and date shown, doesn't mean that. What are you laughing at?
Always happens.
Doesn't mean that that's the last time that you'll be able to see it. So make sure to go and check that out. Right. So we've got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which I'm sure we'll cover at some point. That looks like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. Shout out to
It really does, isn't it?
shout out to Giuseppe Lucarelli, who we done a Mortal Kombat episode with a couple months ago. And by the way, that's sitting at like 16,000 like views on Facebook alone, and like hundreds of different likes. And I'm like, what? Why?
It was Giuseppe.
It was
Giuseppe.
It was his pulling power.
Aye.
That's what it is, man. He should be in the next Mortal Kombat's sake. So this is the new Marvel movie, Shang-Chi. Don't really know where it fits in because I mean, there's no one Marvel, and then there's like where Disney are taking it now, and it's just like, all right, they're squeezing that sponge and taking every single thing and just it's the same story near enough in every single one of them, just different powers and different characters. But go see it anyway at bathgatecinema.co.uk, get the tickets and go see it at Bathgate Cinema.
I've still got a good number of showings left on that one, so
yeah,
I might actually still go and see it. We might still review it on here. So
yeah, Wednesday the 15th, you can get that at 8 o'clock, right up to Thursday 23rd of September, which is like a week later. Right up till then.
So if you want to book your ticket for an hour and 7 minutes ago, go ahead and click that first one there. I don't know. Maybe you went to see it already, and I don't know, got sick halfway through, so you can go and see the second half if you book it right now.
But you can see it right up till Thursday, the 23rd of September. Get your tickets, go in and see it. Make sure you say hi to Scott and buy some lovely popcorn. Our ladies, this sounds like something we would like. What's this? Director.
That sounds like something we would like. What is this?
Synopsis. In 1990s Scotland. Oh, again, something we would like. A group of Catholic school. Well, I
careful what you see.
Learn from the best. Group of Catholic schoolgirls get an opportunity going. They're safe. Schoolgirls. Go into Edinburgh for a choir competition, but they're more interested in drinking, shock, partying, and hooking up than winning the competition. So it's like, is this like a Scottish? What's that thing?
Pitch Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine with it being a Scottish film, though, it'll be fully a lot more Scottish stuff like swearing,
and rather than the harmonies and the cups and them going while they're singing, it probably would be more like what the football singers do. No.
Nah. But it does say here very strong language, strong sex references, nudity and sex. Nudity and sex, I think that goes hand in hand anyway. I didn't even mean that. Right. So very strong language, strong sex. So definitely one for the kids at the weekend. So I'm trying to scroll down so I can see the times. Forget you have the power.
David Heyman is in this. You know who David Heyman is?
Yes, David Heyman. I've not seen him for a while. He's done that recent program where he did the kind of trekking in Scotland. I can't remember what it's called. David Heyman's Highland Way or something.
He is a great actor. He's been in a lot of big Hollywood blockbusters. But not only that, did you know that David Heyman actually was the one that started James McAvoy in acting?
Is it?
James McAvoy was in school, and David Heyman paid a visit to his school and taught them all, their wee beginners class on maybe you would like acting. Then David Heyman saw potential in James McAvoy, and McAvoy then went on to say that they kind of bonded over that first time, that they stayed in touch, and he learned a lot from David Heyman. And if it wasn't for David Heyman, there would be no James McAvoy as the actor as we know it.
There we go. See, that's what this podcast is great for, these wee things that you learn every day.
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Diplomatic community.
How long before we get a copyright strike for using that for like 3 hours on end?
I know. Probably already got 2. You can catch that Thursday, 16th of September, as of tomorrow, right up till Thursday, 23rd of September. Like I say, doesn't mean that that's the only time you'll be able to see it. These do run a bit longer than what's advertised.
It's nice to see some kind of Scottish talent getting showcased in a Scottish cinema. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. I think a lot of the time we forget that there are more countries than America that make movies. And I'm assuming you could probably tell it based on the cast of the next film we're going to talk about. which is called Ain-bow, which is when you go to the archery, folk ask you, did you bring one or do you need a loan? No, I brought my Ain-bow.
She's even got a bow, look.
So she does. I brought my Ain-bow.
This is another Scottish production. Another Scottish production, right?
Oh,
Ain-bow. I've got my Ain-bow. I can't get past that now.
What's the chances of having a bow in the picture? That's fantastic. So anyway, this
Katie Price is in it or not? Just kidding. For that,
Diplomatic community.
Ain-bow looks class. It looks like something to do with a bow. A girl was born, grew up in the
brought a rainbow. Next.
Aye, she grew up in the deepest jungle of the Amazon colonia that rests on.
You're really good at reading these out, man.
You do it. Do it in your Hollywood voice.
Here
we go.
A girl was born.
Wait.
Oh, you gave me the floor. I can't see it now. So that's fantastic.
Right. Oh no, it's put me.
I can read that. Remember, I'm nearly 40, man. I can't read that.
No, it's away.
It's gone. A girl was born and grew up in the deepest jungle of the Amazon, Colonia, that rests on the back of the most powerful mother spirit in the Amazon, Amazon Prime. There we go.
Amazon Prime, mate. You lie. That's not it. You didn't finish it.
Of course, I'm not going to finish it. It's about 4 days long. But it's about a wee lassie in the Amazon, so should be class.
And she brought her Ain-bow. You can find that Friday the 17th of September, right up to Thursday the 30th of September. There we go, Malignant. We're not going to say anything about that, right? Because we're going to say a lot about that soon. So you can get that on Friday the 17th of September, right up to Wednesday 29th of September. www.bathgatecinema.co.uk. Get your tickets or walk in and get them at the box office. Here's another thing. What's this? The Many Saints of Newark. Yes,
this is the prequel to The Sopranos. This could be very, very interesting. New Line Cinema. Good old film company. Right? We spoke to a proponent of that a few weeks ago. Yes,
great guy.
And the much anticipated feature film prequel to David Chase's groundbreaking award-winning HBO series, The Sopranos. So not going to say any more than that. Prequel to The Sopranos. I have seen the trailer for it. You'll see that if you just Google it, you'll see it. And it looks pretty decent. So that's available from Friday the 24th, then on Wednesday the 29th, and Thursday the 30th. Not a lot of screenings there, so get it in quick.
Todd gave me the full box set of the Sopranos, like all the box sets of them, and I've yet to watch them, but I'll get around to it at some point.
I'm sure my uncle had them on video.
Probably. Greece's 40th anniversary, which is Saturday, 25th of September. A lot of people dressing up. A lot of people really excited. Ross will have some cocktails on. Make sure to go ahead and get your tickets for Greece at Bathgate Cinema on Saturday, 25th of September at 8 o'clock. Remember, www.bathgatecinema.co.uk where you can get them. No Time to Die. How much time you got to die? Name.
No, a lot. This is the new James Bond film, the new much anticipated James Bond film. It's been delayed numerous times due to Schmovid. And it's directed by Kari Joji, and I'm not saying that name just in case we get a strike.
Fucking Naga. It's Fukunaga.
Fukunaga. So yeah, that is coming up at the end of this month. I believe it starts on is it the 29th or 30th? We scrolled in there with it. There we go. Midnight screening as well on a Thursday. That'll be a party.
For me, it's not worth a midnight thing. I'm just no. I like James Bond. I'm not like, what's James Bond? And I'm right in saying this is his last time playing. Mr. Bond.
I think the passing of the 007 tag is getting passed on in this film.
We just know the next Bond's going to be a woman of heritage.
Let's not talk about that. I'm in a good mood.
It's definitely going to be the way the world is now. Okay, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show, one of my personal favorites. You can only get tickets for Sunday the 31st of October, as the previous two dates are sold out, and so they should be. I think the reason the 31st is having issues selling out, not that it's having issues, I just don't think it's selling out because it's Halloween. Most folk will be with their kids. But be thy case. Go ahead and get your tickets for then if you fancy spending your Halloween watching Rocker. Great movie, and it's even better when you see it in the cinema. So do so. Ladies and
do so.
do so. So, ladies and gents, go ahead, book your tickets at Bathgate Cinema. What are you laughing at?
I don't know, man, but when we listen to this back, right, I'm 100% sure you said ladles and gents.
I did.
Did you? Right, okay. Oh, so you meant it then. That's fine.
Why?
Just
Ladles and
being Jesus.
So yeah, go ahead and get your tickets at bathgatecinema.co.uk and start having fun. Tell us what you thought of these movies. So before we get into Malignant, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek.
Rated R, September 10th.
Diplomatic community.
Made no sense that time, but pass on.
It just felt so fitting. Aye.
Hmm.
Malignant. So will I begin or will you?
I'll let you bash on first, Sunshine.
Aye.
That's fine. That's fine.
So I had seen a lot of reviews about Malignant on social media and all the different horror groups that I'm part of. And a lot of people were like, wow, it was so different. Something it's nice and refreshing to see something so different for a change. So I'm like, all right, cool. It's James Wan, and the trailer looked cool, and it has everything that it needs and that requires you to come and see it, right? You see the trailer, you see the bravado, and you're like, right, I need to go and see it. Saw it. I expected it to be something a bit more grandiose.
Grandiose?
Aye, a bit more like whoa, whoa. But I didn't not enjoy it. Some few bits here and there, I'm like, what? Now I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to pull a J-Mac here and tell you everything that happens in it, and then go, oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, I'm the problem.
So I'm not going to go ahead and do that. But what I will say is, you are spending a lot of your movie going, is it this? Is it that? What, where, how? There's a lot of things where it challenges you to think, what is this bad being? What is this killer? And then when you see what it is, I'm like, ew! I'm like, what? But I mean, I suppose you can't really see it coming. It's not something you will see coming. But it's, I don't know. What did you think?
I thought I mentioned this to you briefly before we started the show, and you told me to shut up, and we'll talk about it on the show. When I was watching this film in Bathgate Cinema, I nearly left probably about 40 minutes in. There was literally nothing was grabbing me. The whole something new aspect, I wasn't really getting it. I thought it felt really formulaic and it was just dragging out. I didn't really care about anybody in the film. Maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I don't know. But it does have all the James Wan-iness about it that you want to see. That it looks like it definitely has his own style. Like one thing you can say about like see that like the great directors like Steven Spielberg, as much as he's a brilliant director, you couldn't see a film directed by him and say it was directed by him. Do you know, his style differs from movie to movie. James Wan has got a style and he sticks to it here, but he mixes it up a wee bit. The film itself, it kind of feels, some of it feels a bit more kind of European horror style, maybe Italian or Spanish, that kind of feel about it. And it's pretty much a mystery up until the last half hour. And I did nearly walk out at least once. But what I would say is that I'm glad I stuck around. This was the opposite of what modern horror normally is. Normally, what modern horror is a decent film with a shit ending. This is a shit film with a class ending. I've never seen that before. That's the something new. I think that's the something new he was going for. Like, so I'm going to make a crap film, but the ending's going to be belting.
Have you never seen that in Total Recall? No.
I love Total Recall. From start to finish.
Have you never seen? Do you know what I loved about it? One of my favourite parts is that when that boy's head, it's no ripped off, but it's like snapped.
I've
It's
seen that. I've seen that before. They actually they did that. They did that in the last Halloween movie. Remember when the bus had crashed and it was the dad? I think they got out of the car and they found him with his neck snapped like that. It wasn't he dissimilar to the broken neck lady and what was that, Haunting the Hill House?
But no, this was this is like a dislodged neck, but like stuck in the skin still.
Aye, nearly headless Nick.
Is that his name, Nick?
No, that's for Harry Potter.
Oh,
No, remember John Cleese?
hi, John Cleese.
That I totally thought it was Billy Connolly when I first seen it.
I think that it's almost like a vengeful film, isn't it? As well, like you are kind of siding with whatever it is that's bad, because you know that these bunch of scientists are a bunch of wrongins. I mean,
Yes.
as
The
far
thing
as
is-
scares go,
What I would say, one of the first things that made me want to leave was the opening scene. That opening scene to me felt like it was. I was watching it and I was thinking, surely this is going to be one of these movie within a movie moments, because the acting, it was so bad and cheesy and over the top.
you think?
And I thought it was a terrible opening to the film, but stick with it.
Yeah, see, when I turned the movie, like when I saw when I first seen the start of the movie, I was like, "Is this Malignant?" Because I was like, I didn't think this was what it was about. Because I read the synopsis and it was like Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of a grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers these waking dreams, in fact, terrifying realities. And I'm like,
It's a bit of a Stranger Things opening, but
aye.
a bit more gory.
So I thought, surely this isn't it. This isn't what I expected. And did you notice the actress? Like, do you recognize her from anything else?
No,
She's in Peaky Blinders.
I've not seen Peaky Blinders yet, so I've seen some
What?
of it, but not enough
What?
to recognize people.
Why no? She's also in X-Men First Class. She's in Annabelle, and then the new Mummy.
Who
Her
was
name is
she?
Annabelle. What are you saying?
Who was she in The Mummy?
And the Mummy, she was Jenny Halsey.
All right then.
You're like, oh, Jenny Halsey. So she was.
All right then. So the opening was a bit. It was really quite off-putting, and it felt kind of cheap and nasty. Again, just like what is actually going on here. See what you were saying there about, is this the right movie? I remember once me and my mate were going to watch The Descent, and we couldn't get it anywhere. I was like, you know what, I'll be bad. I'll just download it. Right? So I went and I downloaded it, took it round, and the film started, and I'm like, I've never heard of any of these film companies. Like, normally, like, you see Village Roadshow, you see Relativity Media, you recognize stuff. I've never heard of any of these. Then it came up at the start, starring Luke Perry. I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck is this? It was a film called The Descent that was made for the Sci-Fi Channel. I was like, oh, sorry, mate, that's the night effect. So we actually did discover it was on More 4, so we just had to watch it with adverts. But
oh no, imagine that.
I know, old school.
I know. Do you remember that used to happen? John Connor was being chased by the T1000, and then it just cut to Pampers. Oh, oh, sake! Or when you used to stop the VHS, you hit stop when the advert.
I think it was at STV or something, or ITV were showing a program the other day about 9/11, and it went off for the adverts. And the first advert was just loads of folk laughing. I was like, maybe chose a different advert for that.
Too soon, eh? Too soon.
Aye, too soon. 20 years isn't long enough.
What did you think? What did you think of the casting of this movie? It's not a huge cast because doesn't require it.
No, well, like I said, I didn't actually recognize anybody. I think probably the best acting in the film came from the sister of the main character and the black police woman. I think they were the best actors in it. But pretty incidental. Wasn't a big fan of the rest of the acting, but again, I'm not slating the film. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm glad I stuck with it. But the acting wasn't great. There was a bit too much of it's a horror trope, really. People talking like this. So you don't need to do that. So you understand when you're scared, but if you're scared, you take a breath and you say something. You do. Stop it, man. Just stop it. I don't know why people insist on doing this. And another one is breaking up sentences, or the worst one is when somebody says something and somebody goes, "Wait, what?" I fucking hate that. I don't know why I hate it so much, but I really hate it. It's like, oh, so and so did such and such. Wait, what? It's like, oh, who wrote this, man? Who says wait, what? You say
diplomatic immunity.
don't say wait, what? You say what? It's no wait, what? But I like that face in the corner, man. That's like my wife if I've left that window open and went out. You left the living room window open again.
Somebody's came in and tanked my house. Can you imagine doing that? Leaving a window open, coming home and seeing nothing.
Just like, oh man. Chapping the neighbours' doors. Did you see nothing? No. No a thing. We were wondering why there was a removal van at the house and I had to tell you I was moving.
Wait, that actually happened to one of our closer friends. I'll not name names for the purposes of the tape, but someone we know very closely went out on, I think they went out for a night or they went away a wee cabin or something, and they came back, the house was tanked. Whole thing.
Wonderful.
And where they live is a very closed off area, so you would think maybe one of the neighbours saw something, but it would be quite funny.
Every time they chap a neighbour's door, they do this. Do you see anything? I'm trying to time you in. Did you see anything?
Diplomatic community.
Did you see anything? Hello, I'm doing some checks here. Did you happen to see what happened to your neighbour's stuff? It turns out he went out for the day, come home, and his house has been tanned. Have you seen anything?
Diplomatic community.
I like the idea of saying your neighbour's house has been tanned. We're doing some door-to-door inquiries today. We're investigating a tanning in the area.
Investigating a tanning. It turns out your neighbour's house has been ransacked. Did you see anything? A removal van, a couple of wheelbarrows.
There was a couple of guys in ski masks, but we would assumed they were going to the shop. You're not allowed in without them these days.
There's been a tanning.
Imagine that in an episode of Target.
Yeah, there's been a tanning.
Xbox DVD. Oh man, we're investigating a local tanner.
My name's PC McCulloch. We're just doing some door-to-door inquiries. Where were you between hours 1 and 3 yesterday? Why was the problem, officer? Tanning.
Oh, wait a bit.
Next door. Tan. See your next door neighbour. His house got left out in the sun. What do you mean? Go tan. Right.
Put it this way.
We need coal. We need coal.
Oh man, but it's too enjoyable. Far too enjoyable. How did we get from there to the house being tanned? Where were we when we went to the house tanning?
Where the hell were we?
Let me just say one thing actually about this movie that made me go, "What? Come on!" Right. So, say if I'm going to paint a picture here, right, just to kind of move it away from the movie, so I'm not getting away too much, but it's essentially what happens in the movie, right? So you come home,
I mean, I always get really sweaty and nervous when you do this. Like, I'm going to try and not give too much away, right? But you know, Bruce Willis is a ghost.
So you come home, you're way Mel. Oh, J-Mac has left. He'll be back. He's left. I was about to tell a story there. Oh, there he is. He's back. He's back. You're back. Aye, is that you back?
I don't know why I got hit one of the F buttons that I never touch.
Right. So you come home. Your missus is chilling, Mel, right? Give her a wee slap. Then, then she then finds you where like he'd snapped while it's still in the skin, right? So a big whatever, right? Gruesome. And then some mad thing chases her. She goes to hospital. She comes out of hospital, goes straight back to that house.
It's a problem with all horror films, man. It's like, regardless of your financial situations, like or the logistics of moving house, something like that happens. I'm out the fucking door. I don't care if I leave open. It can get tant.
Exactly. Nicola Baird said, "See movie the other night was freaky."
Picking the lassie up. Come on. I think she's trying to say she's seen the movie the other night and it was freaky.
It was that freaky that she's speaking like that the way you hate it. In the comment section. Nicola,
thanks for the comment, Nicola.
what did you think about the way that if it was realistic, did you think that it was portrayed very well? Like
horror films are always like that. People make decisions in horror films where you're just like, nah, come on. I mean, it goes back to the old cliche of running up the stairs. It's like, no, there's the front door. Get out. But you need to forgive horror films for that. You have to suspend disbelief when you're looking at horror films. It's just there are some horror films that are made to be realistic. Like, for example, like Silence of the Lambs, something that's grounded in some kind of reality. Films like this aren't, and you just need to forgive it as wrongdoings.
Well, here's the thing, right? If I found a spider nest in my house, I'm like, hey, see you later. I'm not going back in there till that thing's gone. Right? See if something chased me that chased her, right? And then knocked her over and all that stuff. I'm not going back to my house. And did you notice as well? Like it's a huge house for one person. And then she starts seeing all that stuff happening outside. She's like, first night back after some mad thing chased me. Bet nothing scary happens. Oh, there's something standing outside my house stalking me. Oh, what was the chances? You know what I mean? Lock all doors and windows. Come on.
Again, man,
it's just intelligence, though. It insults us as the audience. It insults our intelligence. Like, we know straight up, right? If some mad freaky zombie dude, not that that's what's in the movie, or is it? No, right? But if that happened, I'd be like, hey, well, we gotta find a new place to live. And Nicola says, wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Thought it was freaky, a bit silly at the end. I agree with that completely. Not what I thought it was going to be. Thought it was freaky and was a bit silly at the end. I agree. I like the bit where like all the bully lassies are getting the heat snap and stuff. I like stuff like that.
Aye. That's that done.
They don't know what bully lassies and at what point.
Shut up!
Shut up on a podcast.
I know. It seems like a really counterintuitive thing to do is to shut up when you're on an audio show, to kind of rely solely on sound waves. But sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up.
You're too sensitive about talking about movies. You always think that saying Anthony Hopkins is in it is a spoiler. Mate, they saw that on the poster.
Nah.
Love the jail scene. See, she agrees.
Love the what scene?
The jail scene where they'll get the heat snap.
Aye, it's a good scene. That aye. It was. I'm not going to deny that. But based on what I've said earlier on, you know that doesn't happen until the last half hour of the film. So,
does it? Mate, you're spoiling it.
My turn.
You're spoiling it for folk at home.
So, all in all, I think the film had It finished strong, but 2/3 of it for me were disposable.
I think as well. What I'd say it wasn't as gory as Saw. There's a few moments in it where you're like, oh, that looks fair. Oh, that's definitely fair.
Do you know, my only problem with a lot of some of the gore that's in it is it's too CGI blood spatter heavy. There's just go back to old-fashioned squibs. They look better. I mean, there are some things you can't do. Like, there's a certain sequence where trying to do it practically just wouldn't work. So,
like what?
Not telling you. There's a sequence.
Tell us.
But use CGI sparingly. Don't use it just because the guy's there that day, and you might as well. You know, I think that actually happens quite a few times in this film. There's some needless CGI when they could have just spent a bit of time and done it practically, but other moments where it was needed. But
which points were you talking about exactly?
Not telling. I'm not going into it. People can watch it and then they can decide. They can look at it and go, don't really see why they need CGI there.
It's just for context on what you were saying. I thought maybe the people would like to know what scene specifically you're talking about.
There's a specific chase scene that happens that utilizes CGI in places where it really shouldn't be required if you can get a decent enough production and stunt team.
Which chase?
The chase.
Which one?
The chase. There's one chase scene. There's one proper chase scene.
Disagree with you. What else happens in it to create a little bit of context and a bit of background?
Just give me a second. I'll just get the script. I'll read the whole thing.
I was waiting on you pulling it.
Diplomatic community.
Hold on, I'll get the script. Wasn't keen on the Matrix bits.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But
all right, I get.
Again, we'll leave it up to the audience to decide. It's not a terrible film. Horror films are very rarely excellent. As long as a horror film is watchable and a bit creepy, it's a win. So I would still take this movie as a win, even though it does have its issues.
So go ahead and see that. If you can get tickets to Bathgate Cinema, www.bathgatecinema.co.uk. Buy your tickets, go see it at Bathgate Cinema, or see it wherever you go to see movies if you're not local to the area. And talk to us about it. Let us know what you thought. Coming up right now is our 3 stages of doom, where we play a wee game.
It's a new name.
I know, I just thought we'll roll with it, seeing it's Malignant. So here we go. That's him on the spot, the round where J-Mac puts me on the spot by giving me a question I totally wasn't expecting, and I've got to answer it. J-Mac, go for it.
Okay, James Wan is a revolutionary horror director who has changed the face of horror as we know it today, from movies like The Conjuring all the way through Insidious and all the other shit that he's done, right?
Saw.
That's the one. So, so my question to you is, I want you within the next 10 seconds to give me a brand new horror concept. It's never been done before. Something
horror
different.
Concept. Okay. An app. Na.
Go on.
Na. Download the app. You download an app, right? And it connects you with a soul. You don't know this to begin with, though, right? You don't know this. Connects you with a soul from many years ago. Sometimes it's a good soul. Sometimes it's wee Brenda food in the street, right? But sometimes it's no. So this app connects you, right? And everybody that downloads the app gets connected to someone in the world. You don't know it, right? All you do is think that you're trying to communicate. So it's like a media map. But when you connect with this spirit and you start to talk, right? Someone else on the other end will then have like a wee, like a dial board where it'll be like kill. So they press kill on that app, and then within that week, you'll kill someone, and that soul will possess you to kill. But when that person does that, they then need to connect to a soul, or Final Destination style.
I have to say, for on the spot, that wasn't bad. The thing is, see the way you said it, just when you were introducing on the spot, and you were like, J-Mac's going to ask me a question that I've never heard. It sounded sarcastic, so now that sounds bland. And 100% wasn't he?
No,
Because I was so underprepared for this that I made that question up 15 minutes ago. And we're
no,
43 minutes in.
I texted you ages ago about
I know, but I've been racking my brains to try and think of something that wasn't just who would you put in place of that person?
But what did you think of my movie idea, though?
That wasn't bad actually.
It's got the makings.
There's again, like any horror film, there's issues there, but I'm sure it could be ironed out before we.
Aye. Well, I was on the spot, mate. I was on the spot.
What were you? Let's see it again.
What was that?
That's him on the spot.
I was on the spot. I was on the spot, right? And I think if I was to get round the table with a few mates and a few select very smart people in the biz, I think we could flesh that out and make it really cool. And it would be called Dun Dun Dun, the app.
A genius title for a genius movie. So what's a horror film about? Oh, it's about an app. What's it called? The app.
Marketing will be easy, mate. The app.
Oh man, what actually, that's an interesting.
It's called apparition.
Apparition.
Apparition. Possession.
No, the apparition is fine. It's
No, it's
cheesy as fuck, but it's fine.
Like app though, right? But it's apparition, possession party.
Oh my god.
Maybe we'll change party. That's in working, but we'll apparition.
It's definitely a work in progress. It has been so for the last 2.5 minutes. I just did the old watch check when he watched there. The old Joe Biden. See him.
True or false trivia? J-Mac, tell the fine audience what is true or false trivia for thy who have never seen us play it before.
True or false trivia? Let me try that again. True or false trivia is the round where one of us gives the other one some trivia from the film or supposed trivia. It might be true, it might be false. We haven't looked, so here we go.
Okay, here we go. As of July 2020, details about the project were still kept under wraps, but it was reported that it will tackle a slice of horror James Wan has already explored.
True.
False.
How could I get that one wrong?
I know. Like we were just saying, he'd never done it before, and you're like, no.
I'm actually I've set myself I've set myself a new target to just get as low a score as possible now. I'll be all raging if I get it right now.
Madison Wolfe has a cameo. She played Janet in Wan's previous horror, The Conjuring 2.
True.
False. She's not it.
Simple as that, isn't it? I like that. It's like normally it's like false. What actually happened was in 2020. This like false. She's not in it.
Oh, the medical trophy award of Dr. Weaver's that Gabriel fashioned into a weapon can be glimpsed in the opening scene when Dr. Weaver's filming her video diary. It's behind her.
True.
False.
False. It's in front of her.
It's to the left.
Really, how would you see it if it was behind her?
Exactly.
Unless she was an apparition.
See? Oh, the name of the film refers to the medical term for the type of cancer which, when untreated, can lead to death. Dr. Weaver makes a remark on this in the prologue of the film.
True.
How do you know that's true? Like,
because I know what a malignant melanoma is.
Aye, but that's not what's the question. The question is, does
it's a medical term? It's a medical term for a cancerous thing that if left untreated will kill.
Aye, that's what we know that is, right? But the real question within that question is Dr. Weaver makes a remark on this in the prologue of the film. That's the part that's true or false, not what the Malignant part is.
Yes, that's definitely true. I like how I was putting my ear up to my microphone to make sure I could hear you. I don't know if I've quite worked out the technicalities of running a podcast yet. What? Fucking what?
But I'll read that question to you again, right? So that you know what that. So we're clear on what the question is.
The question, it's true. It's true.
Well, so you definitely heard Dr. Weaver say that at the start of
Yes.
the video.
Yes.
You definitely heard that.
I definitely heard it.
What did it go like then?
That's a spoiler. I'm not doing it.
No, that's not a spoiler.
Right, I'll mouth it then, right?
Okay.
Right.
What?
You can't say what when I haven't said anything. In fact, hang on, we've got a wee private chat here. Let's do it here.
Nah. I'll just read what you write, so you may as well just tell me.
You read it. It's your spoiler. I have diplomatic immunity.
No, that's right. Okay, so that's your. So you're saying true?
Yes.
False.
Hang on a minute. Wait now.
I mean, oh man, you're not doing well, mate. What happened to you? You used to be good at this. You've taken the right dive over the last couple of weeks. Like I don't think you've got one right in the last 4 episodes, man. Like, not one.
It's because your questions are twisted as fuck.
It was to the left. Yeah.
So you can see it behind her. True. I remember seeing that. False. It was to the left. It's actually south-southwest at a gradient of 2.4. Aye.
Oh, here we go. In the scene where Madison is talking to Gabriel on the phone in the bathroom, the camera is angled so that the back of her head is seen in the mirror, so as if we see her and Gabriel at the same time during their conversation.
False, but
That was true.
fucking
Nobody knows who Gabriel is, Cam. So
you were doing so well.
on that note, you lose, mate.
I don't even care anymore, man.
You lost. Nah, she's not in it.
I just this is what it feels like me when like I look in the mirror and see that I'm fat. I'm just like I don't fucking care anymore. I've had enough.
Don't you, right, mate? Well, next week you'll be triviaing me, right? But see, the week after that, this is your comeback game. This is the homecoming of the J-Mac.
Mm-hmm.
You must
the J-Mac comeback,
right? And if you lose, I think there's going to be a term to you losing. Right, we're gonna be like, whoa, he lost, so he has to do this. Jibberjabberscotland@gmail.com to tell me exactly what he has to do if he loses the next true or false trivia. Sahan has to make him really, and you can't look at trivia, you can't cheat.
I would never cheat. I'm not a cheat.
Don't know, like a few times I think you've been staring at the trivia.
Why would I not just keep on doing it?
Maybe that's why you're on a losing streak, because you're just trying to convince everybody that, oh, look, see, would I be staring at it if I was lost all the times? Surely I would have. I'm on
right, so it's a game plan then. It's a really stupid game plan.
I am on to you, J-Mac. That's all I'm telling you.
This way, I've lost more than I've won this far. So,
like, have you ever won? I'm sure we drew a few times and then you lost the whole.
No, what happened was I won by like 8 questions and you called it a draw because you run the show.
I called it a draw. Don't be so silly.
It's like I clearly won. You were like, right, okay, I'll call that one a draw. Right? No, that's not how this works. If I get more than you, I win. It was like that bit in Big Daddy where they're playing cards. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
The wee boy, he says, okay, I got 2 kings, a 10, an ace, and a jack. And he's like, I got a 2, a 4, an 8, a 10, and a 6. I win. He's like, why do you win? He's like, because I win. He's like, what's the name of this game anyway? I win. That's you. That's you.
J-Mac, I think you are talking crap.
Fucking hell.
Every week. And before we wrap up the show in the next 7 minutes, tune, that's question time, where you guys put questions in the comments to talk about anything movie related, anything cinema related, and J-Mac and I will interact with you and answer those questions. But in the meantime, just in case you don't fancy asking us any questions or chatting to us, we're going to chat to each other while we wait for the next 10 minutes, and you guys are just going to listen if you're not into chatting with us. J-Mac, have you seen the new trailer for The Matrix?
How do you spell?
I can't wait to watch the to go back and watch this show and look at the subtitles to see what that was.
It'll come up music. It always comes up music when it's not got a clue. It's like fucking music.
Must be.
I have seen the new trailer for The Matrix, and I have to say I am starkly underwhelmed.
Why?
It's the problem I've got is that I don't remember enough about 2 and 3 to give a fuck about 4, because those were awful. The first Matrix film was excellent. The second one is dire. The third one is better than the second, but still not good. This one, I feel like looking at it, I felt like it might have the same problem that Bill and Ted had, and that Keanu Reeves is really struggling. He's struggling to get into the mind space again. Like if you watch Bill and Ted Face the Music, Alex Winter, who plays Bill, just jumps right back into that role like he never left it. Keanu Reeves is an absolute plank of wood, and he doesn't know how to play that character anymore. And I think the same thing might have happened here. Unfortunate but true. Also, the director Lana Wachowski, I don't know what she used to be called, but
Mike.
That's Wazowski.
Welcome to Monsters University.
Lana Wachowski, apparently, I just read the headline. I didn't read the article because I knew it would just be a bunch of contrived pish. But basically, Lana Wachowski speaks out on why she brought back Neo and Trinity for the Matrix 4. I'll tell you why, because without them, you wouldn't have a Matrix 4. You can spin that any way you want. You can talk about the mythology and you can talk about the fan base. No, without Neo and Trinity, you do not have a Matrix film. So you can try and pull the wool over anybody's eyes. I hate that when people bullshit their way through interviews to try and make themselves sound more creative than they are. I've not even read the interview. She might actually say that in the interview. I don't know. But it just annoyed me. The headline, I was just like, well, obviously it's because without that you couldn't have one.
And what was her excuse?
I've not read it. Oh, that's what I said. All I did was read the headline. It just annoyed me. I get annoyed at headlines, man. I'm a fucking millennial.
I think Keanu Reeves looks like John Wick in everything that he's in now.
Yeah, apart from Bill and Ted, he looked old as shit in that because he didn't have his beard. By the way, these people who say that Keanu Reeves is immortal, he's never aging, he is. That beard that he's got hides his age very, very well. Just saying.
He's still a very handsome man.
Oh, aye. Even I would.
I think he looks more like Trinity in the new one than Trinity does. Nah, I'm only kidding. It's good to see Carrie-Anne Moss back. You don't see her in a lot of things these days.
She still looks the same, I would say.
She looks class, aye. Wee bit of age, but come on.
I mean, I only really remember her from The Matrix and Memento. That's really the two things that I remember her being in.
She was in a thing, what was it, Deadly Game, which was a good one. Her and Aaron Eckhart, who played Harvey Dent in the Dark Knight.
I know Aaron Eckhart well.
So
I mean, him used to play golf.
Thing is, I'm with you on this. Trinity was pan-breed. She got done in like Matrix Revolutions. I know what I think's cool. Matrix Reloaded, then Matrix Revolutions, and then Matrix Resurrection. They're keeping the R.
What's the next one going to be? Matrix Recycling.
yeah.
It pretty much is. It's recycling. I don't hold out a lot of hope for this, to be honest. And in fact, think about any franchise that we've been waiting on a sequel for more than 5 years. Most of the time, it's fucking crap.
Halloween was great.
That's why I said most of the time.
But
But a lot of people slated it. A lot of people slated that Halloween. I absolutely loved it.
Regardless, it was great.
Can't wait for Halloween Kills.
Oh, that'll be an episode in its own. I don't even think we're doing that as a box office banter. That's going to be a special, mate. We're going to get someone on. Speaking of that, next Sunday, next Wednesday, 22nd, Dustin McNeil will be on to chat to us about his amazing books, Taking Shape Part 1 and Part 2, which is a great episode for the Halloween fans. So that'll be really cool. We've got 2 minutes before we end this show. I would like to just kind of wrap it up talking about The Matrix, essentially, because I'm really looking forward to it because of what it is. That will do well, regardless of how good or bad it is, because of what it is. Still no getting why Neo and Matrix, at least with Neo, it was like, right, open-ended. He could come back because we don't know where he is. Carrie Ann Moss, sword die.
Right. It's she'll be a program created by the Matrix to confuse Neo. I guarantee it'll be something fucking stupid like that. If it is that, you owe me something. One other thing though is we have to have a quick moment of silence for Mr. Norm Macdonald, who wasn't huge in the film world, but he'd been in a good number of things. But he was better known as a comedian, and a very good comedian. A comedian that did not give a shit about woke culture. He just said what he wanted to say, and now he's dead. So nobody say what you want to say anymore. That's not what I was trying to say. 61-year-old, 10-year battle with cancer that he kept hidden. Fucking horrible. I kind of knew looking at him that something wasn't right. Like he looked really puffy around the face for a while, and it was never mentioned. But I'm good. I'll miss that guy. He was good. A very, very good comedian, especially for an American comedian, because most of them are absolutely crap. Yeah. Sorry if you're American, but most of your comedians are crap.
Well, R.I.P.
R.I.P. I'll slate all your brethren and then say R.I.P. But for just one film example in Norm Macdonald's was Billy Madison. He was one of Billy's pals who sat by the pool. Hey, Billy, I just had the funniest thing. So he's not here, man. He's in school. Oh, yeah. That's his line. But aye, good guy. I did have something else film related I wanted to touch on.
Yes.
If you give me just 2 seconds, I shall bring it up because I highlighted it on my mobile device. Oh, come on, this is annoying. Driving home for Christmas. Oh, there we go. The Twins sequel, Triplets. It's been discussed for a long, long time, and the rumor was it was going to be Eddie Murphy, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Danny DeVito. And Eddie Murphy was the third twin, the triplet, right? But he backed out a long time ago, so now we get Tracy Morgan. I don't know what the big fuss is about Tracy Morgan, do you?
He's all right, man.
Is that it?
He's funny. I kind of say I've seen something where he's in it and he's not funny. I have enjoyed. He was in he was in Coming to America, the sequel.
I've actually not watched that yet. I heard it was quite gash.
It's all right. Some funny bits.
See, I think that's the thing. Whenever if somebody like, especially you, like if you're a big film fan, if you tell me something's all right, I'm probably not going to give it the time of day. There's plenty of other stuff to watch that's good.
But I think it's one of those you've got to make your own mind up. A lot of people told me it was crap, and I thought it was better than what people kept telling me. But am I going to say, whoa, you need to watch it? No.
That is a problem in itself, though, because the same thing happens when something gets hyped. When something gets hyped and hyped and hyped, and you're expecting the best, and it comes out anything less than the best, you think it's crap. If something is crap, if something's, it could actually be a bad film, but if everybody's told you it's total crap, a bad film might still seem better than total crap.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it depends on how you go in.
It was
So-
all right. I laughed a few times, especially the whole. I go, "We'll be right." Oh, there's some really funny woke bits in it. It's like the guys like that. You know those guys in the barber. Talks about how his oh, my grandkid, he went to school and he gonna get one of them sex change. He now a girl. And it's, just, and it's like woke and all that shit. something like that.
Actually calls it out as what it is.
Oh, woke and shit.
Aye, it's something along those lines, right? And I remember howling at it, going, "Brilliant!" Because these guys are guys of old, right?
Right. Yeah.
And they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're still back in like their characters and mindset are still back when the original Coming to America was filmed. So they're like, no getting it. A guy walks in, he's like, walks in here with his slick hair and his fanny pack. right, they're full of that. And for them alone, watch it.
Do you know, I'm going to put something out here, and I might get some hate for it, but I don't really care. I don't think mindsets are really changing. I think people pretend that their mindsets are changing just to make sure they don't get in trouble. Just saying. On that note, thank you very much for tuning into this week's episode of Box Office Banter. Hopefully there'll be another one. And yeah, there'll be another one unless YouTube cancels me for saying something that was completely fine.
This isn't on YouTube.
Is it no? Well, fine then.
Not yet, but nothing's been said that was no.
Oh no, I just expressed my own opinion. You're not allowed to do that these days. That's one of these things.
You can if you're.
You have your own opinion.
Fuck off.
And on that note,
Bye bye.
and on that.
Diplomatic community.
For both of us.
See you later, guys.
See ya. I just wanted to point this out. Sorry, my microphone moved. I wanted to point this out. I went to the Ray Harryhausen exhibit at the Modern Art Museum in I was going to say America, in Edinburgh the other day, and I got this book. The exhibit was brilliant. Ray Harryhausen, if you don't know, he did a lot of the old stop motion special effects for like the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and Jason and the Argonauts, Clash of the Titans, stuff like that. Right, I loved it. It was a great exhibit. So I thought I want something to remember it by. So I bought this book. Now this cost me 30 quid. Right, I would never spend that much money on a book ever because I can't read. But this book is special, right? So what you've got is a picture of Ray and some of these old movie posters and some information about it, which is all good, right? But there's a slight issue. Once you get to page, I think it is it 49? Sorry, 47. Yeah, page 47 here. Turn the page. Page 48, it's fine. This page is page fucking 60, and it's upside down. You need to flick all the way back to... I think there. Yep, so this is page 49. And this is page 60, 61. There's been a massive problem with this print. If this is the only one like this, I'm in for a fortune. If it's not, what a fucking terrible print. See you soon.